Hello, Tony Walker here. Got a little video for you. What we're going to look at today is a Quark Smart QS Quark Smart QSL X. This is a CR123 powered flashlight from the company FOURSEVENS. Now, as far as flashlights go, I haven't bought honestly, I think it's probably been about maybe a year and a half, almost, thereabouts. Probably last Black Friday of 2014, I think was the last time I bought a flashlight. And have sold it since then. Excuse me. And several of the flashlights that that you maybe, if you watch the YouTube channel, that you've seen on the videos here, all of those have been sold except for one. Let me grab it real quickly. The only flashlight for the last probably since the first part of last year, or the summer, well, back during the springtime of last year, I sold all my flashlights except for one, and as I told you about on a recent video, even this flashlight is a Lego job of a couple of pieces put together. That is my Surefire EB1 body with the E1DL head, and I made a video about that recently. But for a long time, this was the only one that I carried. This was the only one that I owned, the only one that I possessed, and slimmed my collection down to one light. Excuse me. Well, this light right here, SHOT Show, which is in the United States, where companies show their new guns and their new knives and their new flashlights and their new tactical items. It was time for it. It's the towards the end of January every year. They have a big show out in Las Vegas. Well, kind of, even though I haven't bought a flashlight in a long time, I still always enjoy watching the videos and seeing what new items have come out and things like that. Well, I guess like some hobbies, some of them you stick with, some of them kind of get old to you after a while. Kind of the flashlights had kind of lost their thrill and appeal. As I've shared before a few times, the biggest use I got out of the flashlights I had was when I would do my studying late at night in the building behind my house. Well, I haven't really used that as much as I'd like to. And so anyway, got out of the flashlight bug. Well, couple of reasons. One, I've wanted to start studying more in my building just because my mind works better there. There's less distractions there. Can think clearer there. Natural lighting in a window, I think, has something to do with it compared to being in a closed-in room with fluorescent lights. But anyway, so kind of wanted to, see what was going on in the flashlight world. Some of it, was kind of lackluster. Even the offerings from Surefire this year really, instead of getting me excited, kind of made me think, what's going on at Surefire. Well, there was one flashlight that caught my attention, not because it was, 1,000 lumens from a AAA battery, which, they're not anything like that right now. But it wasn't anything overly spectacular about the flashlight as much as it was how you could literally connect with the flashlight. Well, so this flashlight, a FOURSEVENS flashlight, it is a Quark Smart QSL-X, as I showed you a moment ago, I believe. I've had a Quark light before, probably 2-3 years ago, I suppose, 2.5, 3 years ago. Going Gear, the big flashlight store near Atlanta, Georgia, and Smyrna, Georgia. I live about 2 hours from there, and whenever I'm in the area, I always stop by and just look around and see what they have. Usually don't ever buy anything, but just enjoy going in and looking at their flashlight wall. A couple of years ago, they had some Quark flashlights that the only thing and it wasn't technically wrong. It's just that 4.7's changed their logo, and so they came out with some new. They reprinted the logo on the Quark flashlights. Well, they clearanced all of the Quark flashlights that had the old 4.7's logo, and so I bought some of those and used them, and I really liked them. One thing I liked about them is the tail cap, the body, and the heads. For the most part, because the heads accepted a pretty wide voltage range, pretty interchangeable. You could put different tail caps, different bodies, different heads, and so it was fun playing with those. But like always, I ended up selling them and buying something else. So I was pretty familiar with the Quark light, the Quark size, how it operated. Well, 4.7's came out with, and David Chow, the guy who runs it, a very interesting concept, a Bluetooth-enabled flashlight. Now, the flashlight came out before the app. When I first discovered this, maybe about a month and a half ago now, somewhere in there, I said, man, that's a really cool idea. The only problem at that time, the app was still in development. And I wanted to make sure that the app actually came out, so I didn't just have, for all practical purpose, just another normal Quark flashlight. And I just remember in years past, keeping up with Apple-related news, there was some times where some developers would submit apps to Apple, and they just, get stuck in limbo, which is not a real place, but get stuck in limbo for a good little while, and you never know what could go on with an app, and Apple, trying to be stringent and make sure everything works correctly. Even at SHOT Show, if I remember right, even at SHOT Show, the app still was not available. David, on the YouTube videos, when he would do the interviews for SHOT Show, he would say the app is still in development, and then it got to a point where Apple wanted some actual flashlights to test. So David Chow said that they overnighted some flashlights to Apple, the AppStore reviewers, AppStore engineers, so that they could make sure everything works. Well, when the app finally came out and it was approved and good to go, then I said, yeah, it's probably pretty safe to buy one of these now, because you'd hate to buy one of these expecting the app to come out, and for some reason Apple just reject it, which isn't likely, but you never know. So, flashlight out, app is out. So what we have here is a Quark flashlight that operates just like you would expect. You push a button on the side or on the rear, and it operates like you would expect a flashlight to operate. But there is another way to interact with the flashlight. When the device is connected to the flashlight via Bluetooth, you can open up the app, and when you do, it shows you the flashlights and the 4.7's devices that it sees nearby. One little caveat, I don't want to call this beta or prototypes, because it's certainly not that, but every now and then, it'll do something a little bit strange that I just don't understand, such as sometimes, I have a problem getting it to connect. Not that I get errors when I try to connect, but sometimes it seems like it takes forever. Maybe that's just me, maybe that's, this, they're saying online that there's going to be an updates for the app, and you can actually update the firmware in the flashlight through the app. Not sure how all that'll work, but for the most part, it's been fairly reliable. So I have my device there. The Quark QSL is what I named it. I'm going to go in here, and there you go. You see off, temperature 89 degrees Fahrenheit in the flashlight. Battery level, it says 100, but I know it's saying 100 right now. Once it gets a load on it, that'll drop down. Moonlight, low, medium, high, SOS, strobe, beacon high, beacon low. So let's just turn the flashlight on. And there you go. Without touching the flashlight, I turn the flashlight on. I can change it from moon to medium to low to high, back to moon, strobe, moon. Then turn it off. And there we go. Now that is under the Pro interface. Now how that works, when I press the side switch, it comes in on Moonlight first. And you can see the screen update as I do this. With the light on, I can still get to high by pressing the rear tail cap. When I let go, it is still in low. To turn the flashlight off, I can hit the side switch, or I can give it a quick tap on the tail cap. With the light off, I can still get to high by pressing firmly the rear tail cap. And again, you can see the app update to on when the light is on and to off when I let go. I have it set to where when the battery, I don't know exactly what it's measuring, but when it drops to below 50%, it will turn red. Right now it's green. When it's on low, it's still green. When it's on high, you can see it drop down the red. But that's just me tinkering with it. Moonlight, hold it to go up to the modes. There's low, moon, low, medium, high, moon, low, medium, high. I can let go when I have it like I want it. Turn it off. Oh. Turn it off, and there we go. Once in a while, some of the modes will do something a little bit funny that I'm not expecting. I just kind of come to the conclusion, hey, it's a computer-controlled flashlight. So once in a while, there will be some bugs. Now, I guess one of the biggest features to look forward to with the app is that you can change it from a Pro interface, which is what I like, to a tactical interface. When the light is in a tactical interface, I will be honest, I'm still not, because I haven't, the flashlight actually has a learning curve. With the tactical interface, I still don't always know what to expect. When I press the side switch, it comes in on low. There it goes. It's ramping up. Da-da-da-da-da. Turn it off. Wait a few minutes. See what happens. And the tactical interface, I believe, is designed so that the side switch will cause the light to always come on in the previous mode that the light was on when it was turned off. Now I can operate this as temporary. The tail cap is activating the temporary light. What it is set right here. If I change it to strobe, in the tactical interface with it set to strobe, when I hold the rear switch, it went to medium. Went to medium. Okay, let's try again. Change it to strobe. Okay, so you can see with the tactical interface, either there's some bugs going on or I still haven't exactly figured it out. There is also the infinite interface. And what that is, you can see the tail cap isn't doing anything, but the side switch, well, I guess it did. It turned it on. I can okay, so I'm not exactly sure what the tail cap is doing. Which it does say that infinite is still currently experimental. Turn it on. Trying to turn it on. Okay, so it's not doing anything. Let's change it back to Pro. There we go. On off. Okay, let's try it. Infinite one more time. Okay. Moonlight. Hold the side switch down. And you can see the light getting brighter. Let go when you have it at a brightness that you like. You can turn it off. Turn it on. Hold it down. And you can see It's going from low to high. When it's doing that, this right here doesn't update. Maybe that'll come in a future software update. Turn it on. Let's rack it up here. You can see as I'm sliding it. Excuse me, blinding myself. So you can see that the slider does work, but that number doesn't update as the flashlight goes brighter. Coming in the future will be output and runtime, where I'm guessing you can pick how many lumens you want or how many minutes you would like to for the flashlight to say, you know, you want it to be 78 lumens, you can pick 78 lumens, I'm assuming, or the runtime mode. Say, I know I need this flashlight to last for, 93 minutes, I can adjust that. So that will come in the future. The map, it will show you where this device is, so that the idea, if you ever lose the flashlight and it's communicating with the app, you can always find out where the last location you were at when you were connected to this light. Also in the map thing, it tells me where I'm located. I'm going to press the page device, and you can see it start strobing. Say you're in the living room and it rolls up under the couch or in a cushion or something, but you can't remember where it's at. As long as you're still connected, you can hit the page device, and it will start flashing. Okay. Page device causes it to flash. Notify when out of range. When you flip that on, it will pop up on your phone and update you, give you a little alert, and say the flashlight has been disconnected. So that if you're in a restaurant and you leave it sitting on the table or something, and you walk out, it'll pop up on your phone and let you know, hey, you're no longer connected. The battery level doesn't always update like you would expect it to. Again, this is the first version of the software 1.0, I'm assuming. And I've read online that there's already an update that's been submitted or will be submitted. The little sun, when you press it, it doesn't do anything. On the David Chow said on a recent SHOT Show video that that's for some features that will be coming in the future. So it operates on a single CR123 light. I did have some issues with the tail cap. I contacted FOURSEVENS, and they quickly sent me a new tail cap. Didn't ask me to send the old one back in. And with the new tail cap, the old tail cap, I felt like I was squeezing it to death just to get the rear tail cap to activate. With the new tail cap, it just takes just a slight press, and it will activate very easly. All I can think of right now, if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments. Like I said, I haven't bought a flashlight in a long time. And as far as flashlights that I have bought in my flashlight collecting history and actually kept, it would be down to this one flashlight that is still in my possession today, while all the others have gone on their merry way. But when I saw a flashlight that even was advertised to come with its own app and connect via Bluetooth, the flashlight hobbyist in me perked up, and the techie in me perked up. So a flashlight that involves pretty advanced technology, I thought it would be pretty neat to try out. Again, I got this at Going Gear. If you watch this video before Valentine's Day, Going Gear is running a special right now where you can get 14% off. The coupon code is Sweetie. I don't get anything from that, obviously, but it'll save you 14%. And Going Gear is always having some kind of specials. If you ever go into the store, tell them you watch the YouTube channels or something like that. Not my YouTube channel, obviously, but the Going Gear YouTube channel. They'll give you 10% off right there. Quark said on their SHOT Show, or 47 said on their SHOT Show videos, that a lot of their lights coming in the future, the pistol lights, the other Quark flashlights, the lumen bomb that's still a prototype right now, all of those are going to work with the ones that fit inside of a GoPro case or mount. They're making all those to work with the Bluetooth app. So still in its infancy, but a lot of neat things they could do with this. You say, well, what is the biggest reason why somebody would make an app? I really don't need a remote control for my flashlight, so I don't have to press the button, so that I can just do that instead of pushing the button. Well, the biggest thing would be the way you control the device, control the flashlight. A tactical light, a pro light, or an infinite light, that would have required 3 separate flashlight purchases. A pro interface where you can get to all the modes, a tactical interface where you can only get to one mode, high, or an infinite interface where you can get to an infinite number of lumens in between. Before, that would have required 3 different purchases. Now it just requires 1 purchase and just a couple taps on the phone. Now that's not even speaking about the output and runtime modes that will be coming in a future update, where if I'm going to be studying in my building for one evening, and I know that I'm going to be there for an hour and 45 minutes, but I want as much light as possible, I can say, hey, I need this light to be as bright as possible for an hour and 45 minutes, and trust that it would do something like that. That's about all I can think of. Don't have the box with me. It did come with a little holster, not super heavy duty, but it would be nice and sturdy enough to carry on a belt. I do that sometimes with it. Also came with a lanyard that I personally would not use just because it is so big. It came with a holder that you can wrap it around the head and the tail cap, and put it on the back of your hand so you can move it around. Spare O-ring, and yeah, I believe that's it. The light did come with the battery. Light, battery, holster, lanyard, O-ring. Yeah, and believe that's all. And you can get the app in the Apple App Store just by searching for FOURSEVENS Flashlights. So any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. Always look forward to hearing from the viewers. Check out the other videos. The Bible reviews, the knife reviews, the EDC reviews, the multi-tool reviews, the Maxpedition reviews, the journal reviews, the fountain pen reviews, and I'm sure a whole lot of other things. Bible sermons, Bible lessons, really like for you to check those out as well. Website, preachertony.com. Email address, tony@preachertony.com. Social media links, you can find those at going to preachertony.com and going to the very bottom of the page, and you'll see all the social media ways to stay in touch with me. And I believe that is it. So probably won't be any more flashlight purchases for a long time. And I'm not even fully convinced I'm going to keep this forever. I may, just to see what happens with the app. But I don't know what the fate of this will be. But do know I'll be keeping this one for a good little while. I think that's all. I've posted a few updates on YouTube about how things have been going recently. Hopefully you've viewed those and checked those out. And again, appreciate the comments that have been coming in, comments that have been left on the videos. Don't really receive a whole lot of emails anymore, not like I was doing when I was consistently updating the podcast. But I did get an email the other day, very, very touching email, not because anything they said about me, but because the person who sent it, they said they enjoy watching the YouTube videos and how I explain everything on the Bible sermons. And this is a person that has terminal cancer. Person with terminal cancer who's been watching the sermons and the Bible lessons, and so it was sad to read that the person is going through that, But on the other hand, I'm glad to know that the Bible sermons and they said the Bible reviews, if I remember correctly, have been a blessing to them during this time. So as I said maybe a couple of videos ago, talking about, what's the point of making these videos? Why would people care about watching a Bible review or a flashlight